Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Bob Vapes. Thank you for joining me today. This video here will be all about how best to transition from smoking into vaping as easy or as stress-free as possible. I have been in the industry. I can't get my words out. I have been in the industry now for a couple of years, and also I have been a vapor myself for about 4 years and helped quite a few of my friends and family as well kick the habit. What I will say is, if you do know any other vapors or you've got your local vape shops, I would recommend that you do go and talk to them as well, especially when you're buying the new device, so they can instruct you on how best to use that device at that time. So when you are looking for a device, I would ask for a mouth to lung device. Now, mouth to lung would mean it's the style of vape that you would be using. You see the ones where they're blowing the big clouds out or anything like that. You want to try and avoid anything like that because it's too close, it's too far away from smoking. Whereas something like this, it has that draw like a cigarette in the mouth and into the lungs. So that's the sort of style that you want to be going for. I would also say keep it simple. So you don't want anything really with, you know, the wattage on there or the temperatures or the voltage going on or anything like that. All you want is to be able to just fill up the device and press a button and away you go. Try and keep it as simple as possible, I would say. So, you know, things like that you can go into on a later date, because there is nothing really quite as easy as taking out a cigarette and lighting it up. So trying to keep these as simple as possible can be key for you. Nicotine strength. I would think about the nicotine strength as well. Nicotine does have a really bad name because obviously it's the level which everyone sort of guides themselves in smoking and that as well. So don't be thinking to yourself, I need to be on as low a nicotine as possible to, you know, to just completely come away. I would say go on a higher nicotine level at the start. You don't necessarily have to go on the highest if it's, you know, really irritating your throat. Maybe start somewhere in the middle. You know, there's a 1.2 or a 12 milligram out there, which is, you know, sort of in the middle there. It will give you some of that nicotine hit, but also not be too harsh at the same time. And once you try that for, say, a week, and you know, if you're still really craving, maybe go up one. If you're not, and you're still finding it maybe a little bit harsh on the throat or anything, you don't feel like you need that much, you can always come down as well. So that's normally quite a good, you know, sort of entry level, just to try out the waters, basically. That's what I would say. And also flavour. Now, a lot of people do come in and they're like, oh, my friend, they've got this really nice sweet flavour or this really nice fruity flavour and stuff. You might like it for a very short period, but what I tend to find is a lot of people, when they first transition into vaping from smoking, is that it can be a little bit overpowering very quickly, because you're used to just having tobacco, this, you know, very sort of dry, you know, earthy sort of taste. So I would suggest picking up a, you know, like an American Red that we've got, which is very much, you know, like a cigarette, as much as you can do in an e-liquid form. But if you really don't want tobacco flavors, you can then maybe go on to something like a menthol or even a mint, but not too much of a sweet mint. That's what I would suggest anyway, because again, yeah, you know, if you get that berry or something like that, you try it for a day and it gets a bit too sickly, that can put you off. And lastly, what I would say is as well is persevere. It's not a miracle, you know, it's not, you're not going to pick one up. Well, some people might be, you know, most people are not just going to pick it up and then instantly at the click of their finger, they're not going to think about smoking a cigarette again. There's so many chemicals in that cigarette. There's just, you know, thousands and thousands. And, you know, with these, you're just eliminating that risk by around about 95%. and that's quoted by Public Health England, not by me. So what I would suggest is just every time that you are craving that cigarette, pick this up first, try this, and just keep puffing away on this as many times as you can. Maybe even time yourself, let's say 5 minutes, because they always say you got that 5-minute window of when you're craving more than others. So what I would say is pick up that for 5 minutes, time yourself, and if you're still really itching for that cigarette, then go for that cigarette. But if you can reduce your cigarettes by half, like in week 1, and then half it again by week 2, you know, obviously you're doing an amazing job. As many cigarettes as you can cut out as humanly possible at the start will be great, and then after a while, if you're only having 1 or 2 in a day, they're going to be so much easier to give up, aren't they? You know, it's much better than, you know, you're smoking 20 a day and you're trying to cut it to 0. You can just reduce, and then you're on, like, say 1 or 2, and then them 2 will be so much easier. So I thought I'd keep this nice, short and sweet. I hope you found this very helpful, or at all helpful. If you do use this video and you quit smoking, that would be absolutely awesome. I'd love to hear it and that. So if you do find any of this, then just comment me, and you know, you would certainly make my day. And thank you for watching, and until next time, bye bye.